Good afternoon, everyone. This is Pastor Chris Wilson from St. Andrew Christian Church and doing my sermon promotion video today. We are in the midst of our Progressive Values sermon series in our weekly worship, and we've heard all kinds of just fantastic sermons over the last few weeks. We got to hear Denise talk about women can lead, and the whole service was led by women. It was such a fantastic service. This coming week, we focus on the theme of protect the earth. And such an important piece, an important value that's been ingrained in St. Andrew from the very beginning of caring for our environment. We have an environmental group, we have environmental initiatives, we are a green chalice church, which we take seriously the work of caring for our environment in important ways. You know, one of the seminal pieces, it's not the scripture text I'm using Sunday, but kind of going all the way back to the first chapter of Genesis, is kind of almost a dividing line of those that are caretakers of the earth versus those that abuse the earth. There is a word in English where God says we're to have dominion over the earth. And that has been translated two different ways. Some people look at it as domination, like we get to do with the earth what we want. And probably the more appropriate way that word in Hebrew is translated is really not dominion as it is mean a steward or a caretaker. That God has entrusted to us the planet that we live on, the world that we're a part of, the galaxy that God created, that we are stewards and caretakers, that we just kind of get to be here and we want to be mindful of the resources around us. The text I am using comes from the book of Job. And you might think, well, what in the world are you preaching Job in the midst of protect the earth? But there's this cool set of verses in here. And one of the ones that starts in verse 7, it says, ask the animals. Another verse says, ask the plants. Is that part of protecting the earth is being mindful of the world we live in, is looking and listening to the earth. We do less listening than we need to when it comes to the protection of the very planet we live on. Oftentimes we say we want to leave something better than we found it. For generations, we have been not leaving the earth better for future generations. We have an opportunity as a church, as a society, to make a difference. I mean, you think of environmental issues, even in the political sphere, how complicated, complex, and divisive it can be. But if the earth is getting worse in terms of its resources, in terms of the safety of our planet, then we are doing more harm than good. The church should be leading the way. God invited us from the very beginning of the formation of all that we see and hear and experience, has invited us to be caretakers, to be advocates, to be representatives of the world we live on. And so this week is exploring protecting the earth and what we can do individually, what we can do as a congregation, what we can do as a wider humanity in taking care of this resource that's so important to us. So I hope you'll join us on Sunday as we are called to protect the earth.